Today on Running to Him.
The purpose of fasting is to bring freedom to the believer. Today we will read Isaiah chapters 56 through 61, and we'll concentrate on chapter 58, verses 4 through 8. Isaiah 58, 4 through 8 says, "Behold, you fast for contention and strife, and to strike a wicked fist. You do not fast like you do today to make your voice heard on high. It is a fast like this which I choose, a day for a man to humble himself. Is it for bowing one's head like a reed and for spreading out sackcloth and ashes as a bed? Will you call this a fast, even an acceptable day to the Lord? Is it not the fast which I choose, to loosen the bonds of wickedness, to undo the bands of yoke, and to let the oppressed go free and break every yoke? Is it not to divide your bread to the hungry and bring the homeless poor into the house, when you see the naked to cover him, and not to hide yourself from your own flesh? Then your light will break out like the dawn, and your recovery will speedily bring forth. And your righteousness will go before you, and the glory of the Lord will be your rear guard." Now we can go to any bookstore and wander into the Christian section and find a book on fasting. And those books will tell us all sorts of things. For example, those books will tell us about the various fasting methods and different reasons for fasting. And they may give us some examples of what has happened to people because they fast. But very few, if any, point out that fasting brings freedom. Now we might be thinking at this point, doesn't fasting take something from us? Aren't we denying ourselves something when we're fasting? Well, the answer is yes to some, but there are two ways to look at what we are doing when we fast. The first way people look at fasting is how they look at their jobs. It's something you must do if you're going to have a relationship with God. He's a pretty good boss, but he demands certain things, and you're in trouble if you don't do them. This is the way that most people look at fasting. They know that between Ash Wednesday and Easter, they've got to give up something that they really like and believe is important to God. As Easter goes closer, it seems more and more challenging to give up that one thing, but eventually Easter comes and they'll go back to doing whatever it was they gave up. And that's the exact wrong way to fast. Fasting is a discipline, not a task, not a wish, and it's not an intention. We have to discipline ourselves to fast correctly. Fasting is not designed to make you feel good, although the result of proper fasting is deeper control over your body and your mind. Is this a new idea for us? What does fasting have to do with controlling our body and mind? Well, if we can control our bodies, we can control other things. Through fasting, we learn to control one of our most basic needs, the need to be fed. But most of us don't eat just to be fed. Most of us eat to be satisfied. We don't need to eat lobster and steak all the time to nourish our bodies properly. But if given a choice, we'll choose that over helping us become more disciplined in our eating habits. Now, if we can control what we eat, we can control what we watch on TV. If we can control what we eat, we can control our sexual urges and participate in sexual relationships which are God-glorifying. We can control our lives. So let's look at fasting as a discipline that gives us pleasure through it. And because of that, we are walking much closer to God, and our walk looks much more like Christ's.
Thank you for listening. We pray that today's devotion was meaningful to you. We would love to hear from you. You can use either Facebook or YouTube to like, subscribe, share, and tell others about us. If you would like to contact us, you can reach me at phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.